99.9 Punk World Radio FM. We got a phenomenal interview for you tonight. This band has been doing its thing all the way across the world in the UK, but then they re-emerged 5 years ago in California. We got Noise Agents right here live on the radio. How are you both doing tonight?
Alive, oh.
Yeah, we're doing great. Thank you for the interview.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Hey, you're most certainly welcome. Thank you so much for a bit of your time. I love your guys' music. You guys are totally rad. I love what you guys are doing. So honestly, when I came across your music, it was a no-brainer. I knew I had to book the Noise Agents.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's great.
Gee, all the way in Canada, you're listening to us. That's awesome. Now, can I say
I love all punk rock.
Was it Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music? Where do you?
Honestly, Instagram.
Really? Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So normally how I do it is like when I actually track down bands, I feel like I'm giving away my secret here, but that's okay. Normally what I do if I interview like bands and whatnot, if I start following a band, all those follow suggestions will come up, and I always check every single one of them. Because you never know nowadays. There's so many amazing bands in the punk rock community that if you those suggestions right there, I always find you're gonna find one absolutely killer band that makes phenomenal music.
And it becomes your new favorite.
It's that is true.
It's like we do the same thing. I mean, we met some people in Vegas, and they mentioned their band's name, and then we looked them up, and they're one of our new favorites, and that's it.
They're on your show a couple of weeks ago. They were on your show,
yeah. No Solution.
No Solution.
Such an incredible band.
Yes. Yeah. And they're great guys too.
And I know you are very busy individuals, so of course I'm not going to take you away from your evening too long, but I got to take you back way to the way before California, back out there in the United Kingdom. What is the origin story behind the very first rendition of this phenomenal band? Like, how did you actually meet the members and, of course, form Noise Agents way back in the day, in, I believe, 2008?
Yeah, well, I originally played in a band called D-Mob from 1978, and anyway, when we reformed, D-Mob reformed, myself and the drummer, we came across a couple of guys who wanted to start up a band. And yeah, I mean, these guys have also done the rounds as well. So that's how we got together originally. And so we went from a 4 to a 5 piece. And then we lasted for about 5 years and made an album, started recording another one, but nothing came of that in the end. And I ended up over here, and eventually this young lady got me back into it again. And
in 2010, you guys actually released a single titled Indestructible, Hear 3 Lions Roar, which I tracked down this song. I have to say, it is such a killer song. Looking back to 2010, can you actually just tell us the story behind Indestructible, and of course, like, what was the inspiration behind this earlier released Noise Agent song?
Bit of the inspiration itself came from sort of my like of a bit of Oi and the Cockney Rejects, but the song itself, it's obviously there's 2 versions of it, and that's a football, or as the American people say, soccer over here. Yeah, but just basically it was for the World Cup. I think 2000. I can't remember which World Cup it was now, but yeah. So I just rewrote all the verses and just used the same chorus.
Did a video
with all the band's kids, which was pretty cool. And I nearly killed I nearly knocked the camera guy out. I literally fell over right at the end, and that's actually me in free fall. So yeah. That's how that happened.
So pretty much what you did, you pulled the punk rock version of Steven Tyler and just fell right off.
Exactly.
And he does that a lot though, because his feet are so big.
Yeah, I use a radio mic because I'll be falling over the lead, from just a normal lead on a mic. So I don't like anything in front. In fact, I rarely stand on the stage unless it's a big stage. Because I'm 6'5", size 15 feet, and everything gets in the way.
I can't relate with the big feet, but I can relate with the height. Trust me. I know there's a lot of door frames that I walk into. I'm 6'3", so I'm a couple feet under. So okay. I know what it's like to walk in the door frames. It sucks.
Yeah, he's 6'5".
We can be giants together.
That's why I married him, because he reaches the top shelves for me. So
I hear that so much that I really think that is the one thing that women always go for is the tall guys, just so they can,
exactly.
Grocery stores, you don't have to climb on top of the shelves to actually get at the stuff. You can just be like, hey, babe, up there.
Yeah. Can you get that for me? Okay, cool.
I've actually got stuck for 20 minutes helping people in grocery stores.
Oh, yeah. And he does, too. Yeah. It's like,
I can't reach that. No problem, madam. Here you go.
I think as a side hustle, aside from noise agents, you should offer your top shelf services. Just stand there and get tips. You know what I mean? You want me to reach that? Oh, $2.
That's so punk rock.
Instead of I have to write that down. Actually.
Oh, there you go.
You'll be coming home and she'll be like, "Why do you have so many $1 bills in your wallet?"
I know. He was doing the circuit again.
Exactly.
We got to watch him every minute. But we will be seeing a bunch of our friends from the old noise agents when we go back. We're doing the tour in 3 weeks. We're starting in at the Birmingham Punk Fest, the International Punk Fest on Thursday the 31st. And then we'll be in Gloucester on the Friday, Bristol on the Sunday, and then we'll be in Blackpool from the 7th to the 10th. And we have one of the main stages, the Casbah stage at Rebellion, and then 2 other gigs, the Tash and the West Coast Rock Club. So that's going to be on our agenda in the next 3 weeks.
And when you say reuniting with the original members of Noise Agents, will they be joining you on stage as well, or will they just be watching?
They will not, because some of them have I don't think Marcus is playing anymore. Really,
Marcus, the drummer, is not playing.
He's not playing anymore.
He did the odd show.
And all of our other pals are in other bands. So and he's still very good friends with all of them. So actually, the Baz was almost going to play bass with us.
Yeah, the bassist was the original bassist.
But then he had other commitments, so he couldn't do it. But we have our bass players ended up going with us. So. We're all good.
And September 13th, 2013, you actually released your 13-track self-titled studio album. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us the story behind this amazing album, because I gave this album a listen, and I have to say it is absolutely unskippable.
Yeah, I mean, quite simply, everybody in the band contributed towards it. So the bass guitarist Baz wrote two or three of the songs. The guy Chris Lloyd, who was on rhythm guitar, who's now with him for Riot, he wrote a couple of the songs, and I did the rest. And just basically, it didn't take that long to put together, and we were very pleased with it. We got it all done within 2 days.
But I do have to say that this guy is so humble. He is the best lyricist that I have yet to come across. And I'm not saying that just because I'm married to him. Even the G-Mob songs, you go back to all the ones that he wrote for the last album, and the Noise Agent songs, they're put together brilliantly. And they're meant to be crowd participation. They're meant to be like, stand up with us and sing along, and, for that to feel that community. And not just, to get everybody involved.
It's obviously at the end of the day. I mean, I wrote pretty much all the lyrics, and some of the melodies.
Most of the melodies.
But it's always a team effort at the end of the day, no matter how you put it together. But and it's we got a lot of ideas for another new album. We've just done our EP. And we're really pleased with that. That came out superbly, but that's another story in itself.
And I have to say, just on that album alone, Punk Rock Dead is actually my favorite track. That, and also School Days.
Yeah. Punk Rock Dead is music from Baz Clark, lyrics by yours truly, and School Days is all Chris Lloyd. Lyrics and music, which is a real good song. It's probably my joint favorite on the album.
I can't pick a favorite. Punkanoy is Punkanoy is my favorite though, because it's just so much fun, and it's so much fun to sing along to. So.
And also going into the newest edition of Noise Agents, Andy, yourself in 2020, you actually moved, of course, we spoke about, from the UK to sunny West Coast California. What actually made you decide to move halfway across the world and, of course, reform this iconic, once was UK, now California-based punk rock band?
Her.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. We met. Andy came over in 2016, and we met briefly. And I was writing for PNX News and doing videos for them, and wasn't thinking about getting back into music or having a long distance relationship or anything like that.
I was on tour at the time.
But he stole my heart, and he didn't steal my heart until he went back, and I'm like, 5,000 miles away. What is this? But we persevered, and we got married in January of 2017, and then it took us 4 years to get him here with all the immigration issues. But he finally made it, and I'm not going to talk politics right now because I just can't. But even though I want to, I can't, because we're going back to the UK, and I don't want to have any issues with him returning. So
I will say it for you. When it comes to politics, in one way, shape, or form, they will always find a way to bend you over and take you dry.
Yeah, they do. They do.
You got it right.
But I coerced Andy into, because he needed something creative to do here, and I knew how fabulously creative he was and how good he was when he was. I mean, when he's on stage, I call him my peacock, because he just explodes into color all over the stage, and he gets everybody involved. And that was before I came into it, but I convinced him to reach out to people, get something going. And last year, 2 years ago, we had some guys on board, and they were all in. The thing about SoCal is everybody's in about 5 different bands. And they say, well, I can play this weekend, but I can't play this weekend, or I can do this weekend, but I can't rehearse this day. And it was just almost impossible, and the commitment level isn't the same. I mean, I grew up back east, and it's like, when you were in a band, you stayed with it. It's like until somebody died, and then you just, you persevered, you did it. But out here, it seems like people, it's very fluid. It's like they want the next flavor or whatever, and that's fine. That's their preference, and that's what happens. But I know he loves what he's doing, and we just want to have that thing with other musicians that bond us together. And we finally found it this year. Recorded the EP, which was great. We actually recorded it at the Church Studios here in Palm Springs. Which is like a really cool studio. Paul McCartney records there, and Dropkick Murphys recorded there. And actually one of our best friends now, Ron Nash, he's the tour manager for Guns N' Roses. So he's out on tour with them now, and he's one of our biggest cheerleaders. He loves the Noise Agents, and we're recording the next album again at the studios. But it's nice to have that community, behind us, because we're no spring chickens. This might be, we might have another maybe 5-10 years left. Who knows? I mean, Charlie just turned what, 80, 81?
Charlie Arthur.
Yeah. So, or 80. Yeah. 81. But I don't want to do it till we're 80. But
I mean, look at Mick Jagger. I think the Rolling Stones either are still doing it, or they might just wrap things up. But I mean, look at Mick Jagger. He was definitely in it, I think, close to being 80, and he was just absolutely rocking it. I think he's going to outlive all of us, though. That's what I think. Mick Jagger's going to outlive all of us.
Yeah. Well, whoops.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, the other guy in the band, what's his name? Keith.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. Keith will be here when Planet Earth comes to an end. Yeah, what's his name? Keith. Oh gosh. What's the other guitarist in Rolling Stones?
Right.
No.
I will admit, I actually do not know. The only one I really know is Mick Jagger.
Oh,
But the
God,
good thing is,
that's
I'm glad the Rolling Stones are not punk rock, because if they were punk rock, I would be destroyed right now.
right.
Yeah, their latest albums, a couple of good tracks on. I really like actually. I was quite surprised. It's kind of like.
Well, let's just
different.
hope we can keep this going.
Yeah,
a
we
little bit
will.
longer.
Snowing will blow, and you got to keep going.
Exactly.
And speaking of this new EP as well, February 28th, 2025, Start Again EP. It's so many amazing songs on this. I know you mentioned a few moments ago the Rolling Stones had a few good tracks. You have all good tracks on this Start Again EP. So I was wondering if you can just dig a little bit deeper actually into this EP and just tell us a bit more about it. And of course, where can we actually buy or stream it today?
Okay, well, you can stream it on all streaming platforms.
Yeah, it's on everywhere: Apple Music, Spotify,
25, 30.
YouTube, a bazillion other places.
Yeah,
you can find it. When we were going into the studio, I wasn't in the band. I was just managing the band at that point. And for this last, I think I jumped into managing last August, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Andy, we were going to the studio, and Andy said, "Hey, love, can you do this one line for us?" So, he asked me.
Yeah. So, basically, the album, the EP itself was. The idea was that some of the songs they'd never been released, and I also did one of the songs, "Scar Generation," is a project I worked on with a guy called Pete Lee from Guitar Gangsters. I wrote lyrics for 3 songs. They took one. He did the arrangement and everything. We took "Scar Generation," and then there is one more, which is I don't think it's that suitable for what we're doing at the moment, but that's another day. The rest of the songs, pretty much is yours truly again, with the help of the music from the lads, the Noise Agents back in the UK. But I was very surprised just how well, because we redid everything here, and our engineer, producer
Brian Moore. He's an amazing guy.
Did such a great job. He worked
above and beyond.
He worked extra 2 weeks on the songs.
He worked an extra month after we were done because he wanted it to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
So
this guy's producing music, for some big name bands but he's become a very good friend. In fact, all the church studio crew. What's the new studio?
Oh, Studio B is in Indio, and that's the newest studio.
We'll probably
do the second one, the album.
Yeah.
But anyway,
there's a lot of work to go into that.
But anyway, so I ended up doing more than a line in the song. "You Don't Know What You Want" was originally this is a funny story. So when we first got together, there was like a past relationship he had, and I said, "Oh, is that song about her? You don't know what you want?" He's like, "Yes, love, yes, love." And it was just funny. And I'm like, okay. So then we end up singing it together, and the chemistry is just it's hysterical. People love it when we do it on stage. It's just we really get into it. We almost have like this backward fighting match, but we have such a good time. And we plan on doing a couple more like that, but more in the same vein as the rest of the Noise Agent songs. Because
one of the things I've learned over the years is to listen to other people as well. When you write songs because you write them the way that you want to write them. And I've asked a couple of very good friends their opinions on that. I tend to talk to a lot of people about stuff, certainly when it comes to music. But anyway,
train of thought.
The
people that you asked about, like what we were doing, because it's a change.
Yeah, because people have been saying to us, you've really got something with that with with Ruthie's sort of vocal as well as
we actually do harmonies. So what harmonies are in? There's no harmonies in punk.
Well, that's the thing.
But there are now.
Oh, there's some great bands out there.
But yes, yes, there are.
One of my favorites, Street Dogs from Boston.
Street Dogs are good.
And superb. For me, Michael Colvin's probably the best lyricist out there on the planet, in my humble opinion. But and it's like sing-along shouty anthems, crowd participation songs. Because that's how I've always felt. Playing in bands, all these years, is that you can't do without the crowd, and obviously they wouldn't be around without us. So it's just a big community thing where everybody gets stuck in, feels part of it. No rock stars, no egos. We're all part.
And it hasn't been an easy road. We just lost 2 guitarists because they didn't feel comfortable with a woman in the band. So that was their take on it.
Yeah, it's been up and down, and I'm just kind of really surprised. I've never experienced this before.
It's not like that in the UK. It's like there are so many female bands, there's so many combinations, and everybody gets along really great. But here it's not like that, which surprises me.
Well, I agree on that.
That's not very punk rock, in my opinion, either. At the end of the day, that's not punk rock. That's not what it's all about.
No, it isn't.
And the thing is, it's actually trying to get people to be dedicated to the band. Initially it all starts out well, which is great, and I honestly thought that we had it, but unfortunately, like I said, we just lost a couple of guys. We got a couple of guys over in the UK. In fact, the one guy who's coming in on rhythm guitar is Alan Catmull, who originally auditioned for the original Noise Agents. Which is pretty cool, and he knows all the songs. So, and
his band Ambition Demolition will be doing 2 of the dates with us over there as well.
And then we got Dave Linehan on lead guitar on the tour with us, and Dave's he's played for the Angelic Upstarts. He's got his own bands.
Hooligan
Dublin, Blue Carpet Band in Foreign Legion.
Yeah,
so Dave's really
and such super guys that are just willing to jump in and help us out.
Yeah, I'd bring them back with me if I could, but
in our suitcases.
Yeah,
but they probably couldn't get through immigration. So.
just get a big enough suitcase and try and stuff them in it.
We would definitely want to do that.
We'll some of that, sure. Yeah. So that's the EP.
Yeah, but Scar Generation is one of my favorites on that too, because it's different. It's different, but it's people seem to really love it. They're like, oh, I've been listening to Scar Generation on repeat on Spotify. I'm like, oh, great, thank you. Because it is a good song.
And I know you already brought this up, but of course, the 7th to the 10th, you'll be taking the stage at Winter Gardens in Blackpool, UK, and of course, a string of other United Kingdom shows. I was wondering if you can just tell us a bit more about what the United Kingdom fans can expect from these Noise Agent sets coming up within the next month and a half, because I got to say, I wish I could be out in the UK to experience you guys, because I've seen your videos of just you guys performing live, and it sucks just being able to watch them on a TV and not be able to be there.
Oh, yeah. Well, when are you going to go to Rebellion? That's the next question. Seriously,
if I had a year of planning, I definitely would. But a month, unfortunately, I can't.
But next year, try to go to Rebellion. It is one of the most incredible joining of it's this huge, beautiful punk family, like 250,000 people, all descending on Blackpool, and it's just the first time that he took me, I think, was 2018, and I met so many people, so many bands that I never thought I would meet, and then, hey, Ruthie, nice to meet you. And then the next year they remember who you are, and they're like, hey, let's go have a pint. And it's just the best. It's just this beautiful punk rock family. And you have to come. You definitely have to cover it one year.
If you try it once,
you will come back every single year, because what they do, what Daz Russell and Jenny, they're the ones that actually put together Rebellion. They also have a RIS stage, which is the Rebellion Introducing stage, and they have all new bands that have never played Rebellion, and every day of the festival. And we always try to hit that because, like you said, when you find your next new favorite, we find our next new favorites on the introducing stage because they're from all over the world. Bands from South America, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So you definitely have to come one year. Plan it out, put away your pennies for your flight, but you're closer over there, so it won't be as expensive for you to fly.
I hope not. I hope not. Hopefully that whole inflation stuff doesn't impact it. I know obviously UK to Canada, but we know how all that stuff works. So hopefully not. But I definitely will love it because it sounds like a phenomenal time. It sounds almost like the UK's version of Warped Tour almost.
It's better. It's better.
It's fast.
It's better. It's 4 days of just pure punk love from 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 12:30 until
it actually starts on midnight. It actually starts as like a Wednesday show.
Wednesday shows.
That's the beginning. And then this year, I mean, there's all these fringe shows around Blackpool, and then there's another big fringe show every day.
There's something
4
else.
days. I mean, this year's probably going to be there's probably going to be nearly 500 bands. Just through 5 days at Blackpool. So crazy.
And who are the headliners? Are they going to have the Selector, Bad Manners, PIL? Who else is playing this year? I know it's the Cockney Rejects and Cockspur aren't this year.
I mean,
but it's just it's amazing. It's But anyway, getting back to your question about what they'll see is we have the best time on stage. I mean, from him being as animated as he is, and I try to give everyone a good show as well. So, but our drummer has just shown up. So, come on in, Corey. I'm gonna let Andy and Corey talk now, if that's okay with you.
That sounds good.
Right.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Okay.
Thank you. Corey Carroll. Yeah, Ethan.
What's up, man?
How you doing, Corey?
Doing all right.
We were actually just talking about Rebellion Fest as well.
So this is Corey's first time out the country, and we're gonna make sure he has the time of his life. He's gone with his partner as well, so
Corey's first time out
of the States, yeah. So I think.
So Corey, what's the first? What's something you're looking forward to actually being going at first time out of the States? You're going to Blackpool, United Kingdom. I know Andy here. That's where he's originally from, that area. But what's the one thing you're looking forward to the most, aside from performing at Rebellion? What's the one thing you actually want to do or try when you get out to the UK?
Oh man.
Coming right down with those hard questions right off the top. You're like, damn, I just sat down, man. Let me crack my beer. God.
Yeah, it's cool. I just I don't know if I could say. No, I'm just kidding.
we're uncensored, so go for it, man.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one. Can we get next question?
Don't worry. We're gonna actually get him into the UK cider, because the cider over here is like it's like pop, but it's in the UK where I'm from, the cider country. Yeah, I've got somebody who's got some lined up for him, and it's really strong. So we'll test that out on him.
So yeah, cider.
Don't get him too wrecked because he has to play.
Oh, yeah, we'll party after. We'll party after for sure.
Because I've heard some stories about the alcohol out there in the UK that it's definitely very good, but it's also very potent as well. I've heard some pretty gnarly stories.
Yeah. Well, English ale is, where the strong stuff is, and like I say, the strong scrumpy cider, that's kind of like, they sort of like brew rats in that. You go blind, you drink too much. I have the odd glass of it, but I'm not a massive fan of it myself.
And also, because I know we just talked about Rebellion Festival, and of course, I know you briefly hinted at a new album currently in the works. But what is next for Noise Agents? Is there anything we happen to miss during this evening's interview that you guys still want to touch on, talk about, or promote? We still got you here live on 99.9 FM tonight.
Wow, I mean, there's the thing is, there's a lot of ideas floating around what we want to sort of make next year East Coast tour. We've had offers to go to Europe, all over Europe, pretty much. I'm half Polish, so Poland's definitely one of the places we've been offered. Like I said, mentioned the new album. Just trying to establish the name of the Noise Agents, because over here this is like year 2, and like I said, we've had so many chopping and changing setbacks that we haven't really been able to, sort of hit the floor running that as much as we'd want to. So I think it's just a case, watch this space. There's going to be some surprises, and there's going to be some great music produced. So, yeah, I mean, and also looking forward to playing certain venues over here, which would be cool. But we're game to play anywhere as long as you got a decent PA.
And before we actually part ways here tonight, how does people down here in Canada and watching all over the world how can they follow the Noise Agents? That way they can stay updated on all these shows and, of course, the new album that's currently in development.
Yeah. So that you can get us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, all those sort of music platforms, social media platforms, and never feel a word about actually contacting us personally, like just DMing us. I spend a lot of time. I'm a pet sitter, so I've got a lot of time on my hands. I stay in some very nice houses, and just writing and reading and just doing band stuff, a lot of band stuff, mid-summer things. So I'm always open for a chat, suggestions. We're looking for obviously Canada would be a great place to come. We've got a lot of friends in Canada.
Good beer.
Yeah, good beer apparently. So yeah, we're an open book and an open door. So feel free to hit us up anytime, and jump on the Noise Agents bandwagon. You're more than welcome.
And I got to say, first and foremost, thank you both for giving not only myself, but the radio station's airways a bit of your time. And of course, for Ruthie as well, for sliding in at the beginning of the interview and chatting as well. I don't know if she can still hear me in the background, but okay, well, definitely thank you for your time as well there, Ruthie. I hope you guys have safe travels all the way out there to United Kingdom. Hopefully when the new EP drops, we can make this happen again. But for now, have yourselves a phenomenal night out there in California, and keep tearing the roof off every venue you guys pull up to, because I'm telling you, you guys are one hell of a phenomenal punk rock band.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
It's good to hear.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you're most certainly welcome. Have yourself a phenomenal night, and we definitely shall talk again here soon.
Thank you very much. Cheers, my friend. Take care.